Been sober 6 years now.
Yeah.
Woo!
What are you going to do for us tonight?
I'm going to try to tell some jokes.
Okay, sounds like you will tell us some jokes. It's all yours. Let's hear it for Dawson.
Let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I really want to make a, is that a microphone in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me joke? Except you kind of ruined it. Oh, so, how's everybody doing tonight? Tell you a little bit about myself. Spent 8 years in the military. That started off, I wasn't anything special. I had a drug problem. And I needed to get away from that. I needed to straighten my life out, and I thought I'll join the Army. 2 days into basic training, a 6'5" man knelt down beside me and said, "I swear to God, I will make you eat a rock if you don't start doing push-ups correctly." And it was in this moment that I was like, man, I didn't even think about going to rehab. I should have kept that card on the table. There's been so many amazing acts tonight. Who taught you how to play piano? Like an angel?
Right, yes.
Halfway through, I was like, am I sweating? My face is wet. It's hot. Oh, I'm crying. Those are tears. Oh. I was moved. And the young man with the Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation, I want you to know, I know your SAC teacher, and you're way better at that than he is. Amazing. I can't compete with that. I work at Best Buy. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. At Best Buy, I help people fix their phones. I was a Samsung specialist, and my third day on the job, a lady came in and she goes, "You're gonna get me a new phone, or I'm gonna ruin your life." And I was like, hold on, ma'am. Recovering addict, I kind of did that on my own. And she goes, "I'm serious, I know people at the Mayo Clinic." And I was like, I don't have health care. She says, "I'm serious, I can ruin your life." And I was like, well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I live in my parents' basement. Both of my son's mothers hate me. I drove a Chevy Aveo into work today on a flat tire. What are you gonna do? Kind of took the steam out of her threats for a minute there. Don't worry, I can still help you fix your phone. I kind of liked it. One of the other technicians there, he looked at me once with a real pompous attitude, and he said, did you ever think maybe you didn't need to quit drinking, you just needed a little more discipline in your life? And I thought, that's a really good point. You ever had a casual drink with your friends, Ian? He said, yeah. I said, I never have. Not once. I gotta pretend I'm checking my watch because that's where I kept all my notes. Oh God, they're gone. Now I've got to convince the crowd that that's not what's going on here. How about people lying at the bar? I kind of miss that. Because I don't drink, sometimes I'll get those late night calls. Can you come give me a ride? And picking up a friend, and someone stops at the bar to tell me about how he is an undercover firefighter. Now I want to tell him I know he's full of baloney, but I want to know more about what it's like to be an undercover firefighter. We get a little deeper into the conversation. Turns out he's also, and I quote, an unregistered ninja. So, seriously, you guys don't tell anybody because he's not registered, you could get into trouble. So, like, I'm picturing, like, being at Walmart and a smoke bomb goes off and a ninja tries to attack you, but someone kills him with Chinese throwing stars and then puts out the fire, his smoke bomb started and goes, dude, you gotta be careful. There's not always gonna be an unregistered undercover firefighter ninja here to save you. I was like, yeah, man, wow, is he right? I remember when I quit drinking, when you mess up Thanksgiving or Christmas, there's always next year. I messed up Grandma's funeral. It's okay to laugh at it? I do. I'm like 90% certain this was just like one last moment where she kind of got me on the right path. For reasons I'll never fully understand, after we buried my grandma, I stole my mother's car, drove it around town. Here's the kicker, there was a family of campers walking a Pomeranian, and for reasons I'll never understand, I stole it. So now I've got this Pomeranian in my car, and I'll be honest, like I had pretty much blacked out at this point. I had someone else tell me, like, what were you doing with that Pomeranian? I was like, that wasn't a dream? So if that wasn't enough, you know, I run this muck over town, and I wake up because of a train wreck, parked in my driveway, in my mom's stolen car, with my dad looking at me just shaking his head. And he says, you're too drunk to drive that car. And I said, no, I'm not. And I'll prove it right now. I'm in front of the garage. The garage door's open. All I gotta do to win this argument, pull inside the garage. Boom! Bang the car off the garage door, straighten out the car. But I get inside and I look at him and I went, maybe you're right. I'm too drunk to drive this car. I'm gonna go take it out. And yeah, that was the last straw for me. I decided that I needed to get sober. I call it the willie coyote effect. Because once you've been drinking and failing at getting sober long enough, your friends and your family see it, but you don't. I mean, when you're watching the cartoon and Wiley's climbing into that catapult, you're like, well, what are you doing? You know, you're gonna go slamming into that canyon wall and you're definitely not gonna get it. But like as an alcoholic, you're like, guys, I figured it out. Boone's Farm. Just gonna drink Boone's Farm from now on. And right, it works like once or twice. And then somebody has like 12 bottles of Boone's Farm and they're like, I don't know what happened. And that was like Wiley slamming into the wall. You're like, no, guys, like I'll only drink during the week. I don't get out of control in the week. And that's like Wiley's climbing into the crossbow. And you don't understand why your friends and family are just shaking their head at you like, I'm 90% certain that this is gonna end badly for him. And you guys just, you don't get it. And then right off into the side of that concrete hill I'd go. Oh, a lot of concrete hills for me. I tried everything. I don't know why. I don't know why I gripped so tightly to alcohol. Once I didn't have it in my life, I stopped missing it. I did though the other day for no reason at all. I thought, man, it'd be nice to have a beer, and I thought I better get to a meeting. So I called my sponsor and I said, do you want to go to a meeting? And he said, you know what? I'm getting divorced. A meeting sounds real good. Yeah, that was more depressing than I meant it to be. I'm sorry. Life can just be a series of train wrecks, one right after another. Like, again, I have to try to check my watch and act like that's not what's going on. I'm just really concerned with what time it is. I'll leave you with just a couple of things here. I should have quit drinking a lot sooner. When I got my second DWI, I read the police report, and it said that I refused a sobriety test. And I said, is that true? When I talked to the arresting officer, and he said, well, not really. When I walked up to the car and asked you to take a sobriety test, you pointed your hands at me like this and went, that won't be necessary. You just go ahead and take me directly to jail. Glad that part's behind me. Thank you so much, everybody, for letting me.